This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. We are free on YouTube. Wherever you get your podcast, search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Go ahead and like and subscribe to us. Reason why I got that out the way, T, is because I'm super excited. We got some good stuff. I know everybody like, oh, you say that every day, Jarvis. But yes, I'm super excited to talk sports to you about what's going on in our city. T,
yes.
How are you doing?
Doing good. It's a happy hump day. So, well, somewhat of a happy hump day, but
right. Maybe a funeral day.
Nonetheless.
A hump day it is. And as we are one day away from the draft, this thing it's here, Tenitra, and when we talk about all the things being said right now, I've said this and I will continue to say this around this time of year. I ain't believing jack squat anybody saying right now. All the reports, I believe it's just a little lightweight pokes at what's not going to happen. so that's how I kind of look at this thing. So we definitely gonna get into the first 6th round pick that the Falcons have at pick 190. We're gonna give you what we got for that, and coming up in just a little bit, we're also gonna talk about the Braves get a win last night, and what Tenitra was kind of hinting at and talking about. The Hawks season is over. And we're going to get into all of that. Yes, cry. I understand. I totally get it. And then for the culture, all I got to say is Cinnamon Toast Crunch Donuts. But first, all right, T. Now, we've been going through ATL Day Ones mock draft.
Yes.
And like you said, I feel like the Falcons need to just go ahead and copy our paper. Like I'll mail it to Terry. Just I know the address out there at Flowery Branch, and I'll just send it out there and just go ahead and copy my paper, dude. And I think the Falcons will be on their way now.
Yes.
With the 190th pick in the NFL draft in Las Vegas, Tenitra Batiste, who are you taking to put on that black and red uniform?
Well, I think I'm going to go back to my original space, which is that of the defense. Okay. I think that you can never shore up the edge enough. So I decided to go with UAB's own edge rusher, Alex Wright.
Okay. Nice. Alex Wright, coming out of a small school,
exactly.
And I think like we have been really on the same page for these past couple of picks because I got an edge guy as well that I'm picking, but I think that is a really good pick. Like I said, the Falcons need bodies. And when you're in the 6th round and this late in the draft, like you want a guy that can play special teams for you and potentially be a rotational guy as well. So with the 190th pick overall, I will be selecting my main man, Jesse Luketa out of Penn State, the other edge player for the Nittany Lions. I know you talked about Arnold Ebiketie earlier on in our mock draft, so I'm going to draft his teammate, Jesse Luketa. I know you sense a theme here, but he was down in the Senior Bowl, and the one thing that really stood out to me was how he was able to go out there and just compete in one-on-ones and really showcase what he can do because Jesse is a one-year player coming off the edge. He was a stand-up linebacker. He was off-ball linebacker in his junior year for 2 years at Penn State, and then he moved to put his hand in the dirt in his senior year. Now, he only had a half a sack. But like I said, when you're talking about finding value in the bottom of the NFL draft, a guy that can potentially make your roster, being that he played that off-ball position, he can play special teams for you. He can run down on kickoff and all that thing and be a guy that you can potentially sub in on 3rd and long.
Yeah, and that's what I saw in Alex as well. Alex Wright has
Mm-hmm.
played special teams, and my mind went to a number of players that you and I have talked about and have been high on, with the obvious being Foye Oluokun, but
Right.
also looking at Avery Williams and just knowing that even with the Falcons, their philosophy is they really want you, if you're not that first rounder or that starter, but you can be that rotational player, they really want you to be able to switch from special teams to defense or special teams to offense and see the importance of being able to show your worth on that special teams side. So yeah, definitely still not a bad thing for us because like you said, we they need bodies.
Bodies that can touch the quarterback.
Yes.
Let me pause for a second. All right, so the Braves, they got a win last night, 3-1. Of course, we talked about the sorrow stopper that is Max Fried. He goes 6 innings, and he just looked absolutely just solid last night. And the one thing when I was kind of looking at some of the numbers for
Yes.
the Braves is what I was really excited about to see. You had Will Smith with 1 inning, Tyler Massett with 1 inning, and you had the closer, Kenley Jansen himself, coming to shut this bad boy down. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love seeing a pitcher go 6 innings, and then you running those 3 relievers out there, and Kenley Jansen closing the show. I love it.
Yes. And I also like something Max Fried said post game. You look at his numbers, and they were almost identical to Marcus Stroman's, who, of course, started for the Cubs. They both went out for 6 innings. Max gives up just 1 run. Stroman gives up 2. And I believe Max had 4 strikeouts, and Stroman had right around the same, somewhere between 4 and 6. But the important thing that Max said, and I said, boy, that's that competitive fire in him that made Brian Snitker said he really is a 1. Max said, you know what? It was like a duel. And that duel got me to want to put my best stuff out there. That's what you want to hear from the guy that you consider in your 1 spot. So not just seeing what he did last night, but that mentality that he is taking into this season, saying, I'm taking no prisoners. And even if there's somebody on the other side, when he hits the mound, who is my rival, I'm going to show him that you cannot rival me. So I really love that. And also, of course, we always love a good story like what we saw with Demerit last night, Travis Demerit, and being able to come in and give the Braves some bounce on offense and defense. We talked yesterday and really have been talking a while about the fact that the Braves have always been a good team from the defensive standpoint. So just to be able to see him get that diving catch and really make something happen and kind of stop any opportunity for the Cubs to get momentum, but then also to put a seal on it by giving the Braves runs, that was just exciting to see as well.
Yeah, and I thought it was a real cool story about, lady behind home plate who he spoke
Yeah.
to,
First game,
the first game,
hit me a home run.
You hit me a home run. He was like, all right, yeah, I'll try,
Right. Not sure.
Hey, I'm still
haven't done it in 3 years.
right. Like I'm up here trying to, figure this thing out, how to stick around in the major leagues, which he may have done, with Eddie Rosario going down. So I think this is a cool opportunity for Travis to get on here. Obviously, he's a local product, and I just think it's just a cool story because I think back in 2019 he was traded away, and that was a trade to bring in Shane Green, and then he kind of struggled in Detroit for a little bit. A lot of people do that, and the Braves end up picking him back up and bringing him back. So for him to come in like that and like you said, contribute on defense and at the plate. Oh man, I love good stories. From Winder, Georgia, he up there from the country. So yeah, I love a good story like that. Nice young brother. Just trying to go out there and make it. Watching him in the post game last night, I was just like, yeah, man, yeah, that was a good look for you. That's for sure.
Definitely, and we hope we get a good look. Can't even say another good look because it's probably been a couple starts since we've seen it, but certainly hope that we get something good out of Charlie Morton tonight. He's going to go up against Mark Leiter Jr., and hopefully we can get that win. That way, we know for sure that regardless of what happens in that third and final game on Friday, we know for sure, or Thursday rather, we know for sure that the Braves will get their first series win of the season.
No doubt about it. First pitch is at 7:20. I know you'll be there. I'll be there because we ain't got no basketball to watch. Speaking of basketball, the Hawks season is over. I don't know if you noticed. And we're going to break that bad boy down to the point where There might be some questions to come in the offseason.
We have thoughts.
That's next on ATL Day Ones on part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, wherever you find your podcast. We'll be right back.